As states prepare for the scheduled launch of Obamacare, more than a dozen Republican state attorneys general are awaiting word from Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius. Weeks ago, they wrote her raising concerns that Americans, well, their identity may be at risk for theft simply because they sign up for health insurance on the new Obamacare exchanges. The deadline for the secretary's response is today. So have they gotten one? Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is co-author and signed on to that letter. Good to see you today.
Great to see you, Shannon. And actually, Patrick Morrissey from the great state of West Virginia, he authored the letter, and we joined in with him. It was a great letter. You know, and people try to say this is about politics. It's about privacy, and it's about consumer protection. And the days are not over yet, so
you may get a response.
We're hoping that we will hear from the secretary, because I can't imagine anyone would want to compromise our consumers' privacy. And that's our biggest fear here.
Yeah, let's explain what we're talking about. These navigators, there are people across the country that have gotten grants, and what they'll do is help people sign up for Obamacare.
Yes.
But there have been concerns and raised in the letter that because we're in such a rush now with the
Yes.
exchanges upon us, these people may not get fingerprinted, they may not get background checks, but they're going to have access to some of our most important, most private information, whether it's medical, income, social security number. Who's going to keep an eye on these navigators?
Information, and that's the million-dollar question. Actually, the $67 million question, because that's how much money they've invested in the navigators. Over $7 million, 7.6 or 7.8, went to Florida. And the concern is they've cut the training from 30 hours to 20 hours, and these people will have our most private information. Now we're hearing that some of the navigators will actually be knocking on folks' doors asking to come in and help them sign up for this online. And as you said, everything's being rushed. You can't fly an airplane as you're building it. And that's what's happening. You know, they were supposed to, HHS, they were signing the contracts with the insurance companies mid-September. And it was all supposed to go up online October 1st. Yet now they pushed that September 5th date back towards the end of September, they're saying now. So everything's being rushed, everything's being pushed back. All we care about as state attorneys general is protecting our consumers. And these are woefully inadequate safety standards that we have. So we're asking for more standards.
Do you know anything about who will be responsible, who will keep an eye on these navigators,
No.
who will monitor that identities are being kept safe? Because I know there are questions about the IT, the security side of it being certified also. That's now backed up to, we understand that certification may not come until the day before the exchanges open. Who's liable if one of these people who comes to your house and takes your information does steal your identity? Will the government pay for your credit repair? What happens?
Those are our questions that we posed to the secretary. Who will be liable? Who's going to police the police? You know, who's going to monitor the navigators? These people who have your most vital information. As you said, no background checks that they're confirming, no fingerprinting, and you're not even disqualified. There's nothing that says that you can be disqualified from being a navigator if you say you're a convicted felon. What if you've committed grand theft or identity theft in the past? You know, in Florida, as in all the states, we're constantly dealing with scams involving identity theft. I'm dealing with one right now where people are scamming our utility companies, you know, calling, saying that they work for the utility companies and need people's private information. That's a scam. And so we have so many, sadly, unethical people out there. And this is just another venue to get our most personal private information. So we're hoping that the White House will work with us. That's what we're hoping, and we're hoping that we can come to a solution to protect our consumers.
And quickly, we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you, what are one or two things maybe that they could do that would help to reassure the states that there are going to be some built-in protections, that they're aware?
Background checks, fingerprints. Let us know who these navigators are. Tell us who's going to be liable, who's going to be watching them, who's going to train them. And you know, these may not all be intentional mistakes by the navigators. They could be accidental because they're receiving inadequate training. So that's what we want to know. We just want proper training, proper screening, and to protect our consumers.
Well, the group of attorneys general has asked for today to be the deadline. Hopefully you'll hear, and please, if you do, let us know, and we'll let folks know what you get.
I will let you know right away when we hear.
Okay. Pam, thank you.